Conversations with Artists, brought to you by The Smith Gallery and Fine Custom Framing. Hi, and thank you so much for joining us for Art Talks, exclusively through the Smith Gallery and Fine Custom Framing. The purpose of Art Talks is to have a conversation with the artists about their art, so that after you take that beautiful piece home, you can continue that conversation. So we learn more about the artists, their technique, and their inspirations. Today, we are lucky to have with us Annie Lesch, who is an oil painter primarily.
Yes.
So good to have you. And so you are from Manchester, Maryland.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
You did.
And you have a wonderful farm.
Yes.
And that sort of gives you inspiration to paint all of these amazing things.
Yes.
And you had on your Facebook the other day of a lamb being born. Is that what was being born?
Yes, we have, this year we've had 6 births and twins on every birth.
Oh my gosh. How does that happen?
Well, it happens.
But I mean, this is truly what your inspiration is, right? For
Yes.
your painting.
Yes.
But not only do you have that inspiration to be able to paint the amazing animals that you do, but you also have been trained in painting, is that right?
Yes. I started painting when I was 13 years old.
Wow.
And I had an okay teacher out in California, but I really started painting when I moved to Baltimore and I met Ann Schuler. I'm one of the students from the Schuler School of Art.
Wow.
So we grind our own pigments. We do all the traditional 16th century techniques of painting. And we copy for a very important reason. As a singer, you know that you don't just go and sing your own songs. What you do is you sing other people's songs to increase your vocal range. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what copying is. So you copy, and sometimes I'll copy because I'm having a problem with a certain subject matter or hands or eyes or whatever, and I'll copy a master's perception of that. And then what I'll do is I'll use what I learned from that copying experience to work that into my own work.
Wow.
The wonderful thing about copying as well is this glow that the old masters did so beautifully is not something that you see in paintings today.
Right.
And that is because it's layer after layer after layer of color and with glazes on top of it.
Well, so how many? I mean, I know
Hundreds.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
Hundreds.
And how long does it take to dry in between each?
It doesn't take long because what the Schuler taught us was that there's a chemistry that they used back in the 16th century that they don't use today with oils, and that is pre-darkening the oil. You darken the oil down, and the oil actually, the linseed oil is a drying oil.
Oh, okay.
So it dries overnight to the touch, and you can actually sand it in between coats.
Wow.
So you're not dealing with the texture on it. But what I like to do is I start with a photograph. I will start with a photograph. Mm-hmm. And I always choose a photograph where the animal is completely engaged. And the way you do that is bubbles.
Bubbles? What
Yes.
do you mean?
You blow children's bubbles, and their eyes try to focus on the bubbles.
That's
And
interesting.
that's how you get that look.
Wow.
And that's the only way to get it.
When you were in Washington, right? Outside of Washington is where you live, but didn't you work in Washington, D.C.?
I did, but I didn't work as long. I worked in Beltsville
Okay.
and in Baltimore. Baltimore was where I was creative director, and
Okay.
I did all sorts of things. And I worked in advertising for 28 years.
So you were able to take your love of painting and put it into the advertising end of it.
No, I studied advertising at Art Center.
Okay.
So my art education because of where I went to school, I went to the school based on the German design Bauhaus schools.
Yeah.
And it's called the Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, California, which was about 2 miles from my house where I lived. And I had a full scholarship there. And they really like break it down to the smallest thing, because their motto is, technically, you should be able to do anything that your imagination can come up with.
Ah.
Be
So
able to do it.
what does your studio look like?
It's crazy right now, but it's huge. It's 40 by 80.
Oh
And,
my gosh.
we each, my husband has the front half of it, so that's metalwork and motorcycle design. And I have the back half, which has a lot of antique furniture in it, and a lot of easels, and I like to have things around me that inspire me. And when I found out that my family, my great-grandmothers and grandfathers were the people that made the pots in the Buckingham Palace. They painted the
Wow.
seating pots. Yeah,
Wow.
Chamberlain.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so when I found that out, I became obsessed with porcelain. So I have an enormous collection of porcelain from the same period.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you have a lot of light in your studio? Is it natural
I
light?
do. I have a lot of windows all the way around.
Well, I'd love to come down and see it.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a mess right now. I will tell you when
That's okay. I'm okay with messes. Messes are okay because it's a sign of a creative mind. I think.
So I think it's a good thing to look at where we are, and whatever skill or beauty you can bring to the world, do it.
Agreed. And you do, with everything you do. And your personality and your spirit. And we're so happy to have you here.
And I am blessed to be one of your artists that you represent.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us for Art Talks. This is Debbie Smith at the Smith Gallery and Fine Custom Framing. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. And if you need to contact me to buy one of these beautiful paintings, how lucky would you be to have one? I have two myself, and I would love to share them with you so that you can continue the conversation that we've had with Annie today. If you need to contact me, call me at 717-774-4301. Send me an email, debbie@smithcustomframing.com, or check me out on my website, which is finearttoyou.com. Until then, Art Talks to you.
Art Talks.